Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be doing a massive improvement modification to the EVO 10. It's going to make your track ready, it's going to make it handle better, it's going to make it look better. So yeah, excited. Now, BC external reservoir coilovers. Now BC actually say these are race grade coilovers. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I'd say that they were high-end track coilovers, low-end race coilovers, I suppose. Maybe they are race coilovers then. But yeah, they're not really road coilovers. That's the important thing. They're focused on performance. So they're two-way adjustable. They give me adjustable top mounts, caster, camber, fast bump, slow bump rebound, spring compression, preload, ride height. Quite a lot of adjustments. So really that is going to make this car handle amazing if I'm able to understand all those settings and make the car handle well, really. But they're going to give me the ability to actually tune the car then, handling wise. Now I have a bit of experience in racing sims and a few track days as well in the past. So you'd be surprised actually what you can learn when tweaking a car on these racing sims as to how it'll affect the car, what causes the car to understeer, what causes the car to oversteer. And I might actually make a couple of vids in the future on the racing simulator setup I have. But I think that what I've learned from that game is going to give me a good foundation really to develop my actual car, not my sim car. But anyway, we've digressed, I think that's the term they use. We've digressed from the point. So let's get the car in the air. It feels like all I do these days is make videos of me jacking the car up and lowering it back down. But anyway, we've got to jack the car up in the air, take the wheels off, and then we can see what we're working with as to fit in these coilovers. So stay tuned and yeah, let's do it. Oh, and one last thing. The garage slippers have made the return. I know you love the garage slippers deep down. So here we are at the rear of the car. I thought I'd show you one from the rear, one from the front, and then I just crack on with the rest. The rear one should be the easiest, so I'm going to start with that. Now here's the rear suspension. It's actually a Bilstein shock absorber, pretty high-end part to start with, but not really adjustable with the damping or the rebounder, things like that. So also the ride height as well. So that's why we want to get rid of it. Plus it's 12 years old at this point, so we might as well just refresh it. Now there's a single bolt here. I'll just show you. Single bolt there. We just got to remove that bolt. I think it's that one. Yeah, it is. And then we should be able to just slide out the bottom of the shock absorber. And then we'll have to go into the boot then and remove some of the trim pieces to undo two of the other pieces, two of the other bolts, and then the shock absorber should just drop out pretty much. So let's crack on with it. behind here and behind here, there are the tops of the rear shock absorbers. So we're trying to get access to them so that we can undo the 2 bolts and then lower the shock absorber out. So I got my wide angle lens on my camera so you can get a good angle of this. But there's 4 bolts on the subwoofer. That's the first stud holding in the shock absorber. That's the second stud. And here's the third one. Just going to remove this piece of trim. There's little tabs everywhere. They're just like little hand screws really. You can just undo them by hand. You can wind them. Damper, you can see the remnants of the logo, but then it says back on the springs, but I don't think the car's been lowered. So we'll do the same on the other side now, but I won't show you that because it's just 1 bolt, and then we'll jump to fit in the coilovers. Okay, so the rear shocks are out. Just a little tip, make sure if you're struggling to get them out, make sure you've undone the bolts for both sides. Don't take one out and then take out the second one separately, because what you'll find is the anti-roll bar will actually be fighting you. So you'll be trying to yank it down. The anti-roll bar is doing its job and it's trying to stop that wheel going down because that wheel's not coming down. So the easy way to sort of overcome that problem, undo the bolts for both the shocks. So yeah, that's just a little tip. Now then, we've got a little job to do on these, and they're looking awesome. What we've got to do in order to adjust them, the settings, would be to turn the knob on the top, as you can see there. But the problem is, when you fit them to the car, if you plan on keeping your interior, you won't be able to access the bolts very easily because you have to stick your finger in the hole. And if they get a bit stiff, then you've got no chance really. But even if you want to put your interior back in, then you've definitely got no chance. So what you would probably do is drill a little hole in the panel and put the pipe through there, just so you can adjust them from the boot. So we're gonna have to fit them. I'm not sure if I want to keep the interior. This is a track build now, not like pure track car. It's sort of just a performance car. Then it's not really used for any purpose other than me having fun in. So with that bearing in mind, I might be able to not put the interior back in. I haven't decided yet on that. But I'm still going to fit them regardless, because it's going to be a lot easier to adjust them through that hole than through having to stick my finger through. The way we go about fitting these is there's an Allen key here and a grub screw. So you pretty much just stick this over the adjustment clicker thing and just tighten up the grub screw. And look at them. Anyone want to buy these? Only 52,000 miles on them. Really good condition. Nah, they're not for sale, but quite surprising how bad bits can get in just 50-odd thousand miles. Now, I had a little bit of a excited moment. I thought they'd accidentally sent me 3-way adjustable coilovers, which are the Model Up. I thought these were the best ones they even make, but I was wrong. I probably would have gone a Model Up again if I'd known. Tighten that bottom bit down. It's not a 3-way adjuster. It actually secures this adjustment onto this. And then this will actually clamp then onto the black thing. and then you've got adjustment like this then. Okay, so I come to the front of the Evo, and I still haven't replaced that crank seal that I have to do, so that's a future video coming up, but the car's not being used. So anyway, I've broken these two bolts here. I've removed the nuts and the nut holding this bracket on, so I thought I'd give you a in detailed sort of explanation as to how this all comes out. When I looked at it, I thought I'm just going to start at the back and not even think about it, but now we're here, it's actually really easy. We've done the other side and it was no problem at all. First thing, there's a 12mm nut holding this bracket to the back. It's been removed now and it's on a sort of stud with a nut. So just undo that with a spanner at the back. Don't be intimidated, it looks complicated but it's actually not. And then this whole unit sort of moves out of the way. There's flexi hoses, well, flexi hose there, so it does move, and this is not really supposed to be bent, but we haven't really bent it. There's no, it does bend a bit anyway. So that's what we've done there. Now looking here, this is the ABS sensor bracket. There's no tension on that at all, just be really careful. There's these two little sort of teeth here that bite into the shock absorber down there, and that's how the bracket sort of secures itself. And then you just got to take these two bolts out, and then the three up there that you can see now. So I'm just gonna tap out these with a hammer from that side, just tap them through, then we'll undo the two bolts on the top and the shock absorber will just drop out. I'll just separate this from the hub. Yeah, there's no tension on that. Look, the flexi is taking up the slack. One of the easiest coilover installs I've ever done. That's fine. So we're trying to work on the car, and this is the sort of thing I got to put up with. Can you just stop? Go on, keep going. That's front and rear coilovers in. Now it's just a case of going around every single nut and bolt that we can see to make sure that they're all tight. And we're going to torque the bolts that we can find torque specs on. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. Then we're going to put the wheels on and see how it looks. Now, as you're probably aware, if you've ever seen coilovers before, they're going to need to be adjusted most likely. So it's very difficult to sort of pick a height immediately. So we might just lower it on its wheels today, drive it out there, drive it back just so it can settle. Then we leave it for a day or so and just see what sort of height it's sat at. Yeah, and the reason for that is these springs can actually sag over time. So usually within the first few days they will settle to a sort of height that they're going to stay at then. So you could set it up tonight, or we could set it up tonight, and then we might find that in 3 or 4 days time it's too low and we have to raise it back up again. Although these are BCER for the Evo, they're actually a custom order, as we know, but they're actually custom again because they've got customized spring rates on, so they're slightly more aggressive They're actually 8 kilograms on the back, 10 kilograms on the front. I think standard is 6 rear, 8 front. So they're a little stiffer, and then they're valved accordingly. I want this car to be set up for track. I'll probably use it on the road on a summer's day, but I want a fully track set up car. So that's a little bit of extra info on the coilovers. Off camera now, we're going to go around, tighten up all the bolts, and then we'll probably rejoin you when we're lowering the car off axle stand and seeing what the ride height looks like. Right, so I've got the wife's car pointing the lights on just so you can get a sneaky peek, and it's looking pretty good. I think the front's a little too low, personally. I'm going to raise it up. But yeah, it's definitely looking like a tracky boy. We don't really want any of that stancy boy, do we, Banj? Apparently the exhaust scraped when it came out as well, so might have to raise the rear a little bit as well. But looking pretty good. Car's coming along, and I'm sure you'll soon see what it looks like outside. I'm going to be getting a outside shot of this first thing in the morning, so maybe not this video, maybe the next video, but if you're subscribed then you'll see. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found it helpful or entertaining, and let me know in the comments what you think. Cheers, guys. The front bumper scraped coming into the garage and out. That's going to have to be raised. But yeah, looking good.